WEFM is SVG.
Activated Mornings on WEFM 99.9 is on now.
We are back with more talk time here on the Clean Fresh Sound. And at this time, we have Kingsley DeFreitas joining us to give us his usual morning commentary. Kingsley, good morning. Over to you.
Yeah, special good morning to you and the others who are listening. How you spoke earlier about humanity, and I sat and I listened to you, and I remember a few months ago, we had what you call the common entrance. And the amount of parents, especially single parents, and I'm referring to most of the time, is women, who accompany their children and their child to go to make sure that their child and children are comfortable in the environment where they go to take the exam. And I don't know if you can remember, if you were told you found out yourself which pencil was the best pencil you were encouraged to buy when you're going to school. Do you remember?
HB number 2. I sure it's HB number 2.
Yeah.
No, your memory sharp. It's an HP pencil, and I used to use the HP pencil 5 because they said that was the best out of the lot. I went to get myself some exercise books yesterday, and I find them very expensive. And we used to have those books you call big line and small line. I asked myself if that book still exists. And it's really important because I think it's just under 2 weeks before we see the school reopen. And I noticed that the government has created a bit of employment in the road where poor students could go and make an extra dollar to see if they could sustain the expenses that surrounding their children to go back to school. And it's important that we recognize the effort that parents, especially single mother parents, is making sure that their child or their children will be fully equipped to school. It's important, and I heard, I think they refer to him as Orlando Brewster. Candyman is referring to him as Dr. Orlando, and I have my problem with people refer to him as Doctor. And he said yesterday it's important that the education is what he used to prepare himself to where he is today. And Dr. Thompson, oh boy, sometimes I ask myself, imagine some time ago, Jomo Thomas, and his comment only came because of Jomo. Jomo, before Dr. Orlando Brewster, according to Candyman, decided to take an entry into the political arena. Dr. Jomo Thomas encouraged Orlando Brewster, do what your love is for, because he seemed as though he had an issue and becoming a doctor. And Dr. Thompson said it's a stupid statement that was made by Jomo Thomas, all because they came from Jomo Thomas. But I know that people in Finnish and Granny who we think had a good political career in Finnish. And Miss Anna, because you live on the other side, the world no. I see them lingering in the thoughts, looking for a ride. I remember one politician who is now deceased, Alan Cruikshank. I saw him on the road several times. looking for a ride to go to a particular area. And I say, can you imagine this gentleman used to be the acting prime minister when Sir James went out? I saw recently Jonathan Peters. Jonathan Peters is the only parliamentarian who beat Ralph Gonsalves like a sassy. And it have others you could name who spend over 10 years being active politicians. And today, they are just lingering in people's thoughts. And when you hear people like Saboto Caesar and Carlos James and them speak, they have a profession. So when the time comes after the 25 election, that people say we had the rest, we're ready for you, they have a profession to fall back on. Do and the Brewster has that level of luxury when the time is right. So when Thompson said yesterday, it was a stupid suggestion by Joe Thomas to encourage Orlando Brewster not to get involved at part of the time. So Orlando felt happy that he did because he said yesterday that most of people have a change of thought at time. Yeah, it is happening now. And he enjoying the ambience. I hope he's paying attention to other politicians who struggle. Miss Salmon, I don't know if you remember, you could ask your mother. It's have an area in Kingston up Mackey's about the lyric cinema. My father took me by my hands and he pointed me to a gentleman. He said, see that man there? That man used to be the first minister of Spain. And they referring to Mr. E.T. Joshua. He was cooking on a coal pot with some wood. Cardboard box was used to enlight the flame. Dr. Gonsalves came and provide some ambience for him to get a little thing on him done. And that is where the humanity came in for Gonsalves. People don't say, I am flipping one side. No, I'm not flipping one side. I have to be the reality. Because when I look at the amount of young people who is employed with the YES program, this, that, I go to customs, I go to the immigration, I see young people. I think that the Gonsalves is preparing something for himself in the future. Because you see, he plans to live until the 100. So when he starts to walk away, when he get older, one of those young people who Gonsalves helped to get where they are today, will take him to his home where he's supposed to be. And it is frightening to see Dr. Thompson could make a statement like that. Because all of us will not have the same sort of luxury when we get old. We're glad that Dr. Gonsalves, through Junior Bacchus advice, open a window at the National Insurance Services so self-employed person like myself could make a little contribution and get a little thing when the time comes. But how much people who are self-employed? If we have to take a look at the public assistance list, they call poor relief, it's over 5,000 people. That's a lot of money that the government spends to assist people with the need of today's society. And as Miss Young Lady spoke others, we said we should come together and form ourselves into some organization and make sure our humanity effort is well grounded so one of these days some poor person will benefit. All you have a wonderful day and I will see you at a bright day tomorrow morning already.
All right, Kingsley, thank you. That was our commentary from Kingsley DeFreitas there. He spoke about several things. He spoke about politicians when they're out of office, as well as some things relating to back to school. He commended the single mothers for the efforts that they are putting in to prepare their children for the reopening of school, which, if I remember correctly, is the 1st of September. But Roleza talking about the 1st of September, boy, them children, they ain't got extra week or nothing, boy. It's not that I feel bad because not me, but 1st of September. Anyways, I want to join with Kingsley in commending the single mothers as well. The job isn't easy for some of you, daddy living his best life, but you have to go out and find the things for the children. And the daddy probably going around telling people that he's helping, but you just do what. That's it. Yeah. You were gonna say something, I think.
Well, yeah. So yes, commendations to the single mothers. Commendations, but you know what? As much as we say sometimes single mothers, there are lots of single fathers as well, because we can't make the assumption that just because a woman makes a child, that makes her automatically a good mother, right? Plenty bad ones out there too, right? So we have to recognize that as well. So good morning to the parents who are trying, all right, and in whatever way that you can do it, because when it comes time for, I want to say common entrance, but I would give them my age. When it comes time to CPEA and the CXC or CSEC, is CSEC as well, right? Right. All right. And CAPE results or A levels.
And CAPE. CAPE.
Right. What you did, CAPE or A levels?
It's the same thing.
Right. So that's what I did it as A levels. So you're supposed right. So that's what I mean. That's the point I'm making.
CAPE. I
right. You some of these parents want to be able to say, oh, my child did such and such, and my child swelled my nose. But ask yourself, were you actually there to be a part of the process of your child achieving whatever, of your child receiving whatever achievement? All right. So that is just something to note. You can't take credit for something that you did not contribute to.
Correct. And providing breakfast, lunch, and dinner is not, hey, I contributed. That's your job. That's your responsibility. You are supposed to provide a child with their basic needs. So I don't like hearing parents say, oh, well, I give you all of this, so I expect that. Did you ever open their books? Did you ever check some schoolwork? Did you ever assist with some schoolwork? Did you ever reach out to somebody to assist with schoolwork when you are unable to do so? I don't like you talking about providing basic needs for them and seeming like that, like you did them a favor. You didn't do them a favor. That's your job, parents. All right. Anyway, so.
All right. And yeah, but there's another point that Kingsley made that had me, it was quite interesting to me, where politicians who come out of office, right? And it's so interesting that sometimes when we are passing in the streets, to see somebody who was once on TV or all over social media, they were high in society, and then you see them walking in the streets and they just look like regular folks, right? Mind you, they were always regular folks. It's just that they were regular folks in the media. And there are times when I often wonder, I know that somebody once told me, well, if you are a politician who is not, how to phrase this nicely, who is not taking advantage of the systems or the processes, that it could actually leave you poor, right? In that you're always going to be there. Persons are always going to have this expectation that if you pass on a block, they want a $5 or they want you to lime or they want help from the chair, right? If you are not within means, or you are not able to use the regular government facilities to assist them, persons, constituents have this expectation that you are supposed to take it directly out of your pocket. So in that way, it could make a politician poor. And many times, well, I've seen it often. Like I remember there was one politician that I passed in the road once and I was like, oh, wow. Looking to see the difference from when I was a child to seeing him now. And there are many times when I often wonder, where are these politicians now? Like if an interview could be done with them to find out how it is they have transitioned from being in that particular position to now having to come back to be amongst us regular folks, right? And oftentimes we don't always get a good account of the life that they're living now, maybe because they were not able to benefit financially from being in those positions. And another thing that Kingsley mentioned is that there are some who, when they come out of office, they have their professions to go back to. So let's say if they were a lawyer before, they can go back into law. But what about those persons who may not have those professions that they can go back into? what becomes of them, right? And I always remember this song for Lucky Dube: "Be good to the people on your way up your ladder, because you'll meet them on your way down." That's the way it is, right? That song. So it's always just a reminder that for me, for politicians, while you are at the top, be good to everybody, because you just never know. And it comes back to the point that you were talking about being a humanitarian, right? Because you just never know. At some point, you are going to have to be down here with the rest of us good old folks.
I think if you've been a politician for a number of years and you get out of that office and your situation has not necessarily improved, or you find yourself struggling, feel like something you weren't prepared properly for when you leave office, whether that's your fault or the fault of the other members of your party or whoever. If you're a politician and you know you're not there forever, no matter how long you're there for, you can't be there forever, whether you get voted out or you die or something or you resign. I don't know what it is, but you're not going to be there forever.
But by extension, this is not just about politicians, it's about people generally, because many of us, or many persons, when they reach the age of retirement, they don't know what to do with themselves. They don't know how to get this second income. They don't know, they haven't planned properly. So
that's so when they leave at the age of retirement.
Yeah, but it comes the same for politicians. Like, what is their fallback plan to be able to be financially capable?
That's what you're supposed to be thinking about while you're in there. And you have this better opportunity, I would say, because you're in a higher position than the regular members of the society, and you have resources, not necessarily tangible things and monetary rewards.
Politician's salary isn't that much, right?
Not the salary per se, but you have access to networking, you have access to resources in terms of information and things like that, because you're not a regular citizen like me. Let's say you're a ULP politician, you're in government, you have access to the region, to the world, because of the position you are in. Unlike me, you get what I'm trying to say.
All right, so what I think so
because they're in government, I use that because you're in the government right now, you have access to a lot of things and a lot of people.
So I can understand this in the context of them setting up a business, they're having their own business, but there's also this thin line of them using their business to access different services through government. Like you're using inside information, or you're using your pull. I don't have a problem with pulling in there. No, it's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. It's wrong. All right, let me go.
Wait. I want to know what's wrong first. It's if you are in that position, and give me an example if you can.
No, so it's like let's say you have just a random thing, a decorating service, right? Would you be using your decorating service to do all decorating tasks for, let's say, official government activities? It's wrong for a politician to be using their business to do that. That's what.
You mean like if they're the only person getting hired for that?
If they're going through the regular bidding process, right, and hopefully it's going to be a fair determination, then fine. But if you are going to have that and you're always going to be getting the pull in that context, then it's wrong. That's what I mean.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So we are going to head out of this talk segment. It's now 8:02. Remember, in just a couple of minutes, we have our interview, our political series conversation with Miss Lavon Velox. It is now 8:02. Actually, it's 8:03 now. And our time check came to us by the New Haven Funeral Home.
Death